I forgot to take a deep breath before clicking the go live button. So, okay. I feel like my mood right now is somewhere between Elle Woods and John Kramer and Arthur Fleck. That's where my brain is at. But for those of you that are new, I am Amanda. Welcome to the stream. Here we just talk about our mental health. We just do check-ins. We just chat a little bit about where we're at, wins, struggles. You can ask questions. Just keep in mind that I'm not a mental health professional yet. So any advice that I give is mostly going to be based on my experience and the experience of others, although some might come from my psych degree. I'm just not a licensed professional. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I do have educational background in psychology. Hey, Davey. Hey, Jacob. But yeah, it's been a crazy last couple of weeks, so I'm excited to hear how all of you are doing. I also wanted to share, after some more of us come in, I want to share what one of the things that we've done that we're going to be sending out that you guys have helped, because all of the super chat and super sticker pledges here, as well as my Patreon's funds go toward my mental health outreach. So I just wanted to share one of the things that we did this week. So I'll do that here in a little bit. But if you want to make sure I see a message, that is the best way to do so. It will highlight it for me. Otherwise, it can get kind of crazy in here, so I can lose track. So how is everyone else? Hey, Jean. Hayden, what's up? Aaron, hello. Matthew, Davian, did you get my message on Insta about listening to Citizen Soldier's new song, You Are Enough? I did. I do have a master list of all song requests. Patreons get priority, but I do have a master list, so I try to go back to a lot of the artists that people resonate most with on the channel, as well as adding new artists so we can expand the community. So I did get it and I added it to the master list, though the master list is quite long. Hello, Master Rogue. Talking about Master. There we go. Hello, David. Hello, Warrior Poet. Just waking up. I don't know where you're at, so I don't know whether to say good job or Matthew says, hi, Amanda, I'm currently struggling. I hope everything's good with all else, though. Yes, I'm sorry that you're struggling. Hopefully we can lift your spirits a little bit. Davey, yeah, I don't care if you react, just need you to hear it for your own mental health. Well, anything that boosts my own spirits right now, like I said, it's been a crazy past couple of weeks. And a part of me, tell me if you guys can relate to this, a part of me is in this, okay, I got this, I can do this, really empowered mode. And a part of me is just in, oh my God, I want to hibernate. I don't want to deal with any of this crap that's going on. So I feel like I'm kind of cycling between just, yay, I can do this, and I don't want to do this. I want to try and do this. I'm just feeling kind of discouraged. Nothing, it's not severe per se. It's just really frustrating, and I'm really exhausted, and I really just kind of want to reverse bear trap a lot of people. Oh, Davey says I'm about to go to bed, 11 p.m. in Scotland. Well, hopefully you can stay around for a few minutes, but if not, thanks for dropping by. I hope you have a good night's sleep. Oh, David, that's a good question. How is the weather in Scotland? I want to go to Scotland. I've never been. That's definitely a place that's on my list of places I want to go. Eugene says, I don't know, but I'm starting to suspect I may have narcolepsy lately. That's definitely something to get checked. Keep us updated. So yeah, I want to share some good news because we all need it, I think. So let's start with some good news. I don't know why. Oh my gosh, what happened to my good news story I had pulled up? There it is. Okay, this made me giggle. Support group using sheep helps people improve their mental health. So we have goat therapy and dog therapy, and I think cat therapy and iguana therapy. So now we have sheep therapy, and I'm loving it. A new animal therapy business using cuddly, woolly neighbors to help struggling kids and adults with their mental health, and the results are unbelievable. Oh, AWA Talk was launched by Emma Redmond and Pippa Ashton last year after Emma was given the opportunity to buy a unique breed of sheep called a Valius Black Nose. Known for a dog-like temperament that makes them perfect for providing emotional support. I want one. The parent now has a flock of 7 sheep and 2 goats to help those that are finding life challenging. Can somebody please get me in contact with these people immediately? Because I need all of the goat and sheep energy. I went to the local farm last night with Aaron and we were feeding the cows and goats and donkeys, though the food, we save our scraps and take them over there once or twice a month, and most of them were frozen because we didn't have a chance to thaw it out. We forgot to thaw it out. So the cow liked it, but the donkeys and goat were being quite finicky on what they would eat frozen and what they wouldn't. Studies have shown that animal therapy can have both psychological and physiological benefits. Emma's life has included accomplishments, joy, and memories, but was also filled with an or misdiagnosed mental alterations, including OCD, anxiety, eating disorders, and ADHD. These life experiences have proven to be a big drive for creating something new and innovative as a way of supporting others. One of the things we have always known is how useful animals are as a tool to help those struggling with diversities and mental health issues, said Emma. Sheep aren't used as therapy animals. People usually think of horse and dog therapy. Equine therapy is amazing, though. I want to get into that again. From there, Emma and Pippa realized there was a gap in the market for a unique animal therapy venture and decided to give it a go. We offer a safe space. If they want to talk to us, they can, but maybe they just want to play and giggle and laugh and run around with the sheep, said Emma. We want to be there to help anyone that needs it. We've got so much belief that we can make a difference. This is just so happy. And here's a picture of them. Here's a picture of the sheep. That makes me so happy. What do you guys think? What animals do you resonate most with? I actually had a dog that was a registered therapy dog before he passed away. For me, I love dogs, but horses and goats are my big therapy animals. Oh gosh, lots of messages all of a sudden. Oh good. Eugene says he's seeing a doctor tomorrow. That is good. Oh gosh, Matthew, I'm so sorry. Matthew says he's living 10 blocks away from the person who had assaulted him at 10 years old, and he told police. They're doing their best, but it's coming to naught. Well, I hope that justice can be served. I really do. Davey says, I love that Amanda does this, like a group therapy session. If it helps, Scotland has the best cows. Don't know if they can help you now. I need to have another reason to go to Scotland. And that's kind of the point. It's not necessarily group therapy, but just a place where we can talk and share, because I know a lot of people just don't really have that opportunity in their day-to-day lives. So Eugene says, do insects count? I have a thing for ants. You do you, kid. You do you. Yes, Captain, it's free. It is absolutely free. So the super chat and super sticker functions that you see that offers the opportunity to make pledges and donations, like I said, all of that goes toward my mental health outreach, and it just allows me to see the message. The goal is to raise 250, but even with the last couple of streams not being high donations, we still did manage to accomplish a lot. Actually, I want to show you guys. So one of our community members, I will let that person let you know if it's okay for me to say names. But one of the community members knew a woman who had lost her husband, and she is now a widow, and she's really struggling. She loves the ocean and she loves art, but she has trouble seeing. So we weren't really, I couldn't really find anything that was as great for artwork, but this is one of the things that I was doing with the funds from last week's stream, just to do some mental health outreach and stuff. So I got her this fountain, this tabletop fountain, and this really helped me when I was grieving. This one happens to be religious, and I'm not religious, but she is, so I thought that this would be nice for her as a memory journal, because that really helped me when I lost my mom, to start a memory journal of my parents and just start writing down every random little thing that I remembered. And that was really crucial for me, because it made me feel like, okay, I'm not afraid of losing my memories. Because one of the things that's super common is I can't stop thinking about them because I'm afraid I'm going to lose the memories. So it almost becomes like these intrusive thoughts constantly because we're afraid of forgetting them, and that really helped with that. And then I got 3 scented soy candles, ocean tide, lava beach, and ocean breeze. So since she likes the ocean, hopefully that will make her feel a little more at ease. And then I have done traveling to places like Hawaii and a few other beaches across the world. So I had a bunch of seashells, and I made a little bag of the seashells. So they still smell a little bit like the ocean. You can see there's some sand in there. And then a message in a bottle. So the letter I wrote for her, I put in the bottle. I'm actually probably going to fold it and put the cork back on, but just a creative way to kind of have that beach theme, to keep that beach theme, that water theme, while being able to share the letter that I wrote, which was just a letter of validation, but also of support, letting her know that she's not alone. So that's the kind of things that I do with my mental health outreach, with the pledges and donations made here. If you do want to make a bigger pledge or donation, please make sure to use PayPal to do so, because there is a fee on here, and I have my email pulled up so I can keep track of the pledges and donations through the stream to see if we meet that $250 goal. But I just think that the more, I know we can't do big things yet, but when we can do these little things, that ripples out. So anything that we can do to make someone's day just a little bit better is the goal. Master says they're bad to the bone, referring to the sheep. You guys are goofballs. Captain Howdy says fainting goats. Fainting goats crack me up. Captain Howdy says, how do you get therapy without insurance? Great question. Most therapy places actually can do out of pocket if it's really a matter of cost. There are organizations that offer discounted therapy. Sometimes if you can get on state insurance, I don't know if you're here in the US, if you can get on state insurance covers mental health treatment. There's online options like BetterHelp that offer heavily discounted therapy sessions. So those are a few places to start looking. Davey says, we're Amanda's army. We fight for each other. Is that like Dumbledore's army? Do I get to have my own wizards? Mark Shipsky says, it's so soothing to know that you're not alone. Mental illness is so hard to explain to your loved ones. Get a professional when it's coming from someone with diagnosed mental illness. It can be very difficult, and that's kind of the purpose of the channel and the streams, is just to let each other know that life can get heavy and it can get stressful, but we can still find our little wins. We can still be here for each other. It's all about community, and sometimes that community involves a professional, and sometimes that community involves friends and family. Sometimes that community involves complete strangers on an internet YouTube channel, but making sure that you aren't isolating as hard as that can be, because I get that call that we don't want to hurt other people, so we have a tendency to isolate. I get that, but doing that kind of actually makes it harder for everyone in the long run, because we think we're protecting these people, but we're distancing ourselves from them. So then they start thinking they did something wrong, or they start missing us, and it doesn't have a positive effect on anyone's mental health in the long run. Davey says, right, I better go to sleep unless any of you can stop Monday coming. Look after yourself, everyone. Sending love. Man, if we could stop Monday from coming, Garfield would have been really happy in the comics. Hi, Deadpool Snipes. David's right. It is hard to explain to others and really frustrating when you feel the need to validate your struggles. That is so upsetting to me, when you feel like you have to explain things, like you have to make excuses instead of just saying, this is how I'm feeling. It's like you have to fight for your right to feel that way. You don't have to fight for your right to feel that way. Just because someone else doesn't understand doesn't mean that you don't deserve to feel that way. I need a good stretchy stretch, or a really long massage, or a float spa. That would be great for my mental health right now. Good evening, Tyler. How are you? So yeah, I have some kind of bad news, and I'm not sure whether or not to make a vlog about it. I might not. But I was pushing for a pardon from the state of Arizona for my felony from my teenage years. And the one lady motioned to grant it to me, but the other lady didn't. So the first lady got outvoted, and I did not get my pardon. And her reasoning really ticked me off. Really, really ticked me off that she did not think 5.5 years in recovery was sufficient. So with all of my other accolades of volunteer work and my 4.0 GPA and my business that I've held for over a decade and all of that, all the outreach I do and stuff, none of that was relevant to her because she felt like my recovery from cocaine was not sufficient at 5.5 years. So she said, you can come back and reapply in 3 years, and there's a good chance that you will be a candidate. But at this time, 5.5 years isn't enough. And I'm going, 85% of people relapse in their first year. So what's the difference between 5 and 8 years? You have no statistics behind that, but there's no way to appeal it or anything. So I'm feeling pretty defeated right now. I have lots of little wins, and I am grateful for those, and I try to focus on those every day, but I'm feeling like I just need a big win right now, not one crises after another, or just one disappointment, one rejection after another. I feel like I'm pretty good when it comes to rejection at this point in my life, where I don't ascribe my value to other people's opinions of me or needing the approval of other people per se. But when it's you keep going for these big things and you keep getting shot down, it feels a little overwhelming. I know that most people can relate to that. And I got another. So remember back in August, most of you that have been here for a while remember back in August, I had an issue with my tuition for ASU. And they said I owed almost $15,000. And I'm going, what? I did the tuition calculator, and it was supposed to be a third of that, just over a third of that. I said, what the hell? So I reached out to them, fought. Long story short, they ended up finding out that they put me as an out-of-state student when I'm not, which apparently is 3 times more expensive for whatever reason, whatever. Well, they kept messing things up. And finally I said, can you please make sure that my account is up to date and that everything is good to go, that everything is accurate, and assure me that I will not have any further charges this semester. So I paid what was left of my tuition back in August and was assured you will not have any other issues. They questioned me and did the verifications and stuff. Everything was fine. A couple weeks ago, get a bill. It was after this last live stream, I think, but in the past couple weeks, get a bill for $590. What is this? Apparently, after telling me several different stories of what this charge was for, why it existed, I find out, well, they'd put me in as a sophomore when I'm really a junior. So in all the verifications that I had you do, and you assuring me that there were no more issues, apparently there were more issues. I just said, I don't have this. I can't pay this. And they're, well, we can hold your transcripts and whatnot if you don't. She said, I'm sorry, there's this small fee. And I literally asked the lady, I said, I don't know how much you get paid, but $590 is not a small fee to most people, especially people who are already having a bunch of financial challenges. So I am not going to lie, I'm feeling pretty salty this past couple weeks about the system. Not a specific system, just the system, the powers that be. I'm feeling really frustrated and almost just taken advantage of. And I don't feel like I'm getting what I deserve. And I feel like things are being taken from me that don't deserve to be taken. So I'm feeling really frustrated at the moment. And it's causing a lot of stress because I don't know how to resolve these things. I will say, and this was kind of a win, after the case, after the pardon hearing didn't go my way, I was pretty good in saying in putting on my little bunny ears like Elle Woods in Legally Blonde when she's in the bunny costume and realizes that she's never going to be good enough for he's never going to think she's good enough, and she just says, I'll show you how valuable Elle Woods can be. That's kind of the attitude I developed. I'm frustrated, I feel stabby, but at the same time it's, I will show you how wrong you were. So should I make a full vlog about it? I don't know. I feel like just me talking on a vlog as opposed to me showing clips from the hearing or something, which I don't have. I just don't know that that would be interesting to people. So let me know, because I do want to give all the details and stuff and talk about my feelings and how I coped with it in more detail. So, let's see. Lots of Garfield. Matthew, I got a cat for many reasons. Doing my taxes for me ain't one of them. Yeah. Captain Hattie said, I was confined to a forensic hospital since I was a teen. When I was 20, New York did cutbacks and it closed. So we were released to the streets and I've been homeless since and unable to get therapy. Okay. In New York. Is anybody in here from New York? Because I don't really know the New York system, so I can look into it and see what I can find. Most homeless people here are actually eligible for state insurance. So I'm curious why that hasn't been offered, why somebody hasn't told you about that, if that's something that's available in New York. So do we have any other New Yorkers in here that can help me out? If not, if you message me after the stream, I will help you do some research and see what we can find to get you out of that situation, to get you in a better situation. So if nobody in here is from New York and can't offer some insights, just please email me. My email is in my video descriptions, or you can find me on Instagram at Mental Amanda and message me there, and we'll see what we can find. Payden75 says, feel better about myself and not feel like I am nothing but baggage, etc. Yeah, none of us want to feel that way. None of us deserve to feel that way. I'm in Arizona. Can I say, yeah, US. But I do think that Payden, I'm going to give like some preemptive snaps here, that's pretty huge, that you're feeling better and not like baggage. I'm happy for you. That's a huge step. Yeah, Eugene, you're right. I actually did grow up in Missouri, but now I live in Arizona. Yuning says, I'm 32 years old. I have no friends. I have a triple once. They find out they're really me. They don't want nothing to do with me anymore. I have health problems. I have a learning disability, and I'm bisexual. Well, yes, thank you, Eugene, for the rainbow flag to welcome Yin Yang. We are totally inclusive here, so welcome to the community. We have quite a few people from the LGBTQ+, hope I included all the letters, community, myself being one of them. I'm also bisexual, so there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you have us here in the community, so you have some friends now. David, can you drop the Discord for Yin Yang, please, so that you can come and chat with us day to day between the streams? You can be part of that, so you don't have to feel completely alone, and hopefully maybe we can help you make some connections. But it is tricky when we're in that place where we don't have the energy to try to work on friendships, you know? It can be really difficult. So we will bring the energy to you. Thank you, David. Oh, David, thank you. David also shared the link from the New York Gov website for shelters in the area for Captain Howdy. Thank you. Spugkey said, hey, man, I'm just about to go to sleep. When I saw the live stream, figured I'd say hi before bed. Hello, I hope you sleep well. Oh, Spugkey is Og Dog Gaming. Okay, cool. Tyler Superman says, when I felt down at the moment, I put on some Iris tunes with their albums Heart of an Artist, Goliath's Throne, and Dawn of the Dynatrix. That's pretty cool. David, did you drop the Discord? I don't know if there's a little bit of a of a lag. David's a salty man. This sounds like a pirate. Arr. Spencer says, just want to crawl in a dark hole. I'm not doing well. We'll just all have to crawl in there with you. And there might be spiders in there. So let's not crawl in a dark hole. But I know that you were talking a bit before about just feeling really down. And feel free to vent, feel free to share, and let us know what's going on. Christopher McConnell says, my friends all still do heroin and I can't be around them and stay clean, so I'm mostly always alone too. Sounds like it's time to make some new friends. I understand having to cut people out when you go into recovery. I'm proud of you for sticking with your recovery and not falling back to those old friends and those old habits. I know how easy that can be, but it is imperative that we cut those people out that aren't serving us or that aren't supporting our recovery. And I'm very proud of you. So big snaps for that. Falling behind, David says, who's the Discord link for Yin Yang? It's for Yin Yang. So let's do our wins. We're about at the halfway mark. Let's do our wins that come with the, Cajun Man says, guess I'm most normal guy in here, doing great. That's amazing. I'm happy. So I feel like there is no normal and abnormal, but I'm feeling like, yeah, a lot of us get in here going, we need to vent right now, please. But it is time for wins. So this will bring out the good and show the good in everybody's week. So hopefully we have some of the people that are in here. I don't know. I don't read them in advance, but snap cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a snap cup. Thank you, Aaron. Spencer can be the first official win here. This is over a month, no nicotine, big snaps for you. And for the record, that could also be a part of why you're struggling so hard, because when I quit smoking, that also affected my mood massively. My dad too. My dad smoked for a long time, from 12 to about 55, and he became so irritable after he quit, and his mental health really tanked, and it took a bit to come out of that. So okay, I'll come back to that. Scorpio 1999 says, after an unexpected incident where my eyeglasses broke from cleaning them all things, they just fell apart. I somehow was able to slow down my frantic thought process and remembered that I had an old pair stowed away, and I found them. It's not great, but they'll do in the meantime. I also got in with my eye doctor 2 days later, and in less than 2 weeks, I'll have new glasses, all covered by insurance. Never throw something away you might need later. Big snaps. Oh, that's rough for me. So big snaps for the first part, in being able to work through that and slow your thoughts, because when we can slow our anxiety and we can slow our thoughts and we can move into that wise mind, so we can have emotions, of course, but still think with some logic, we usually can figure out some kind of solution, especially for stuff like this. So I'm glad that you were able to go through that process. I'm glad that it was covered and everything. I'm torn on the never throw away something you might need later, because I was that type of person that would keep things that I was convinced I would one day need and I never used. And then they just sit there and take up space. And I'm really big on purging. So I will let you guys make that call on your own. If it's something you might genuinely need, yes. But if it's something that you're afraid of not having, or it has just, it's sentimental clutter or aspirational clutter, things like that, I think that letting things go can be very therapeutic too. Oh, Matthew says, I'm multiple years clean from heroin. I don't know how many exactly. I lost count. Big snaps. Proud of you. Warrior Poet says, who Scorpio 1999 says, I'm not advocating for hoarding. Just want to clarify. I know. Could be gayer 4023 says, I found out I'm pregnant this morning after 2 miscarriages with some very dark lines on 2 pregnancy tests. And I finally got back on with my clinic to get some mental health help after almost a year. Also, according to my tracker, I'm almost 9 months clean from self-harm. Those are some huge wins. I'm happy for you, especially after that tragedy. I'm very happy that you get to have that happily ever after, that your clinic is getting you back in, and that you are 9 months clean. Very proud and very happy for you. Jake Smith 6233 says, Kim and I finally got to watch Super Mario Bros. From 2023. It was a great time after watching scary movies for about a month. Yeah, Aaron and I binged through the Saws, so we were in a scary movie binge for a while. I don't know why I'm repeating words. Okay. Sorry, I just need to take a breath for a second. Okay, back to the Mario movie. So yeah, I've been watching scary movies the past couple months too, and it's actually been really therapeutic for me. It's been very helpful for me, particularly the Saw franchise. But I did go see Super Mario Bros. With Bryson and my son, and it was okay. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen, but I'm dog sitting. I do dog sitting as my day job, and I'm dog sitting a dog named Peaches, and every time I call the dog, my brain's going Peaches, 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 Peaches. So yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you very much for asking. But yeah, big snaps for getting to watch Mario. It's a me. Donut Predator 4945. What is with y'all's screen names? I was finally, after 20 years, able to visit my grandparents' grave and not bawl my eyes out. Wow, I bet that felt really empowering. I bet that felt really amazing. So snaps to you. My parents were cremated, and I had them up until this month, or this year, not this month. I spread their ashes in May, so I shared that vlog with you guys. But that does feel really amazing when you get to that point, that you know you've kind of moved into the next stage of grief for a person or people. So I'm very happy for you to have reached that stage. Thank you, David. Yin Yang says, I had a mental down a couple of days ago because I found out my high school buddy that has bipolar, and he's been using meth and everything. I wanted to help him, but no idea how to. Meth is a tricky one because it has such a high relapse rate. And the unfortunate thing is with addiction, you can't force someone to get help if they're not ready. So my first suggestion is gauging, where this person's at and whether or not they're even in a place to accept help. I would express that you're there for them, that you want to help them, give them resources, just really drill in that they have support. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, there's not really much we can do when somebody falls into that other than show our support, give them the resources, and try to love them, whether that be from by their side or from afar. Unfortunately, a lot of times with addiction, you have to love that person from a distance. But hopefully they are in a good place. Hopefully they are in a place where they're receptive to your help. CP368 Productions 2 says, after the girl who was interested in me revealed she's going to a rave, I finally have decided to let her know that I know she's interested, and let her know that if she goes to such a nasty place, she will lose all chance she has of getting me interested in her. I wouldn't normally be so confrontational, but I have to so she knows what her actions will result in. I'm very proud of you for communicating with her and standing up for yourself. So snaps for that. But I do think that setting an ultimatum for a friendship, or setting an ultimatum like that, I'm not saying that you're wrong in setting that boundary, but I think that it could be presented in a little bit better of a way. Because if you're immediately saying, well, if you go to this nasty place, and you're not being understanding of why she wants to go or what draws that, it might be interpreted as, well, nasty people go to nasty places, so she might feel bad about herself when perhaps she just doesn't really think in the same context that you think about this. So I am proud of you for standing up for yourself, but I really encourage you to be a little more receptive in talking to her and asking questions and letting her know how you feel instead of judging this decision she's making or judging her. You can say, hey, the thought that you are doing that just really concerns me, or really doesn't make me feel good about the potential of moving forward. So I would reframe it to be about you and your feelings and how it makes you feel, as opposed to assigning something to her character or these things that she wants to do, because that can actually push her further away. There's two. I'm sorry I didn't cut these apart, so I'll have to do two snaps. But I helped someone translate. I'm sorry. This is Paradog PY8MY1C171. I'm sorry. For some reason, YouTube stopped showing the actual screen names on posts, so it comes out like that. I'm sorry. I helped someone translate their medical issue to the ER doctor she was being looked at by. Big snaps. I bet that felt really good. It's nice to be able to help people. So big snaps for Paradog. And Spunk Punk says, my friend got released from the psych ward today and I scheduled my autism diagnosis appointment. So snaps on both those fronts. I hope that your friend got the support that he or she needed and is able to start moving forward. And I wish you all the best at your appointment. Just remember that no matter what happens, we are here for you. And the diagnosis might give you some direction and idea of how to move forward and how to find fulfillment and happiness and joy, but it doesn't define you. And you're still the same person that you are right now. Okay, Laura Chambers 9447 says, I've been in bed for days, canceled plans because I felt zero motivation, didn't want to burden people. Today I decided to get up and go buy some food and do laundry, starting off small. Don't underestimate yourself. That is huge, my dear. Big snaps to you for that. It's okay sometimes to just take some time to recharge. And I kind of felt like I haven't had a lot of motivation. I don't stay in bed. That's not my mojo, but I felt like I haven't had a lot of motivation. It's been very hard to initiate that. So I give you big props. It's no small feat to be able to get up and do things like that when you are just exhausted mentally and physically. So lots of snaps for you. Awesome. Mark Shipsky says, I want help. I've been to detox 17 times, 2 times in rehab, thousands and thousands of AA meetings, multiple seizures from withdrawals, and no one seems to know what to do. Have you been to an actual specialist for, let's see, you said detox, rehab, AA. Yeah, I think that if those things aren't working, I would talk to a doctor about potential medications that might help, because there are medications that can help with that. But also, I think talking to an actual mental health professional, this is the mistake I made when I went into recovery, was I didn't address why I was using in the first place. And this kind of goes back to that message we were getting, or the snap I was reading a minute ago about this girl going to a rave. We kind of have to look at the starting point of behavior and figure out, why am I doing this in the first place, and what else could bring about a similar, not a similar effect, but at least address the symptoms in a similar way, or some of the symptoms. So I would highly suggest talking to a doctor and a mental health professional, as well as really sitting down and figuring out what it is that is triggering this and what it is that this is actually doing for you. Although there are some drugs that it is really just you can't stop because of the withdrawals, in which case I really think that medication would probably be the best bet here. Yeah, Victor says usage is the umbrella covering the problem most times. It really is, yeah. Spencer says, I don't even want to leave the house anymore and just want to sleep and get drunk. I'm trying to get back with my counselor. I hope that you can get back with that and get back in that routine. It's really, like I said, it's about what is triggering this, what's fanning this, what's at the core of these feelings, what is causing this. I just need an adult to talk to. I need a buddy. Well, that's why we're here, Spencer. Because I do get that sometimes, like, honestly, right now, I don't want to make dinner. I don't want to eat dinner here. I want to just get out and do something, but at the same time, I don't feel the energy to get out and do something. So more than likely, I don't make dinner. So I'm not saying I have to do that. I'm not trying to take credit there, but it's just, man, I don't want to clean. I don't want to do my homework. I don't want to try and figure out my next step right now. I just kind of want to exist for a bit. Spencer saying work and money. Yeah, money has been the big bane of my mental health these past few months, or at least one of them. It's money and health concerns that are my big ones. Peyton, I have to go now. I hope you all have a great night and week, one day at a time. You too. Spencer says, I have my 2 tats to remind me. Tattoos are so powerful. I still have mine as well. That really helps me. So yeah, we are halfway in and have not gotten any pledges. So that I can continue the outreach and stuff, please make sure if you are able that you are using that super chat or super sticker function so we can do more. It makes me so happy to be able to do these things. And right now I'm not in a position financially to be able to do things out of my own pocket a lot. I can still do little things, but I want to do more. And that's why that's why I push for that $250 goal, is just so we can do more. I feel like that has been the spot where, okay, I can do a decent amount for a handful of people with that. So that's why that's the goal. Thank you, Spencer, for keeping us posted. Eugene says, how about instead of saying one day at a time, trying saying 1 second at a time? Yeah, sometimes it is just okay, there's a breath. I made it through that breath. Sometimes it is every breath, every second, every minute, every hour. I think that starting with the seconds and just moving your way up to, okay, I made it for a minute. Okay, I made it for an hour can be very helpful. Thank you, Peyton. Aw, thank you so much. I just realized that I wasn't keeping track of these. So that is 10. So I'll just keep track of it over here on my calendar. Because I have a whiteboard calendar. So I'll keep track of it there. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to send this to that woman, and hopefully it will help her. I just know how strong grief can be. And it's not like I expect a journal and some candles and stuff to take her pain away, but feeling like you're not alone when you're going through so many challenges, when you're going through grief, we do feel very alone because we are now disconnected from that person that we loved so much. So having other love, even if it's love from strangers, I will tell you, one of the things I am most grateful for in this world was after my mom died, the maintenance guy at my apartment complex that I had no real relationship with. We had banter when we'd see each other, but I wasn't friends with him by any stretch of the imagination. And the night my mom died, when I came back from the psych ward and everything, and I got home, I could not be alone. I just couldn't. And he stayed with me and watched movies with me that night. And I will never forget that. It meant everything to me because it got me through that night. I don't know if I would have made it had it not been for that. Oh my gosh. David, thank you. David says, my stat is I made a friend smile last week and it felt good. That always feels good to make people smile. Victor, thank you. Cool. We're at 25. So thank you very much. Eugene says, just remember 1 + 1 = 2 and 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Absolutely. Oh gosh, Spencer says this is the 7-month anniversary of my grandma's passing. See, that's why I'm talking about it. It can make things so much heavier, but just making sure that you're connecting with family, make sure that you're connecting with us, make sure you're sharing memories of her. If you want to share a couple memories, I'd be happy to read them. Thank you guys very much for those pledges. So yes, we're a little bit closer to the goal now. Spudkey says, I don't know why my anxiety always hits when I lay down like this. Well, I can't see what like this means, but for me, when I lay down, it seems like all those intrusive thoughts that I've been avoiding kind of try to hit me all at once. So if I lay down in the middle of the day, I'm going to be so overwhelmed. And that's part of the reason that I'm still struggling to sleep. It was doing better for a bit. Now it's getting wonky again. I'm just going, oh my gosh, if I could just fix one thing in my life right now, that would be it, because it affects everything else. But I feel like just the act of laying down is where I'm saying, okay, I'm relaxing, and my brain goes, but here's all the things that you should have been processing through the day. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Mark says, yes, I've been to multiple doctors in many sessions, and the last one wanted me to go through electric shock. F that. I still like my brain. Zoloft makes me feel like a zombie. Zoloft was a nightmare for me. That was one of the things that they tried me on, and I did not like it at all. I know that there's different forms. There's milder forms of electric shock therapy that can be helpful in certain cases, but I would think that would be kind of a last resort. It's not like we saw in the movies, or like it used to be. I mean, it used to be like that, but it's not like we see in the movies. I do know somebody that went through that, and it was very effective for them. But there's things like, I've been doing EMDR for trauma, and things like that can be immensely helpful. It doesn't have to be actually putting electrodes into your brain or actually physically shocking you, things like that. There are other ways to manipulate the brain. I'm going to put on a little bit of lip gloss to help myself right now. My anxiety symptoms have been all over the place. The past few hours specifically, I don't know why, but I've been having a really intense anxiety the past few hours. Spike says, my therapist been talking about EMDR wanting to start it. Yeah, I started a couple months ago. It's been pretty amazing. I do see some effects. This last week, though, I was just so frustrated and so angry, and I had so many emotions, and they were so intense that I just told him, I said, I can't do an EMDR session today. And I think we did one, but then the rest was just talk therapy, because I said, I haven't really done the therapy thing in a while. It's been a couple of years since I've been to an actual therapist for talk therapy, but my week has been really stressful, and I've been really in kind of a wonky place the past few months, and I just need to vent a bunch of stuff out. And if you can give me insight, cool. If not, I just need to get it out. So I was just getting it out of my head. Victor says, how much are you short on your goal? So far we have 25, and the goal is 250, so 225. Onyx, hey y'all, first time on the live chat. Hello, welcome. I'm happy. I will try and be gentle. I will try to be gentle. I feel like I'm not really exactly sure what to say right now. There's a lot of thoughts up in my head, and there's a lot of just stressful situations, but I think a lot of it is just uncertainty and feeling like I'm stuck. And it's been that way for several months, where I'm just feeling like I'm not making forward movement despite my efforts. So I'm feeling just a bit scattered. My brain's just feeling a bit scattered, sitting here playing with this kinetic sand because Bryson gave it to me because it helps me ground myself a little bit. So I'm going to do that while we're talking, and maybe the words will flow a little more poetically. Maybe I'll say something very profound thanks to this sand. Oh, I forgot. One of my wins actually was that Bryson called me yesterday morning, and he's at his dad's, and he was so excited. Apparently I had 4 or 5 missed calls from him for the morning. It was about a little before 8 in the morning, and I don't get on my phone first thing in the morning. Don't know why he doesn't know that, but he'd called multiple times and was saying, Mom, where are you? Mom, where are you? I need to talk to you. And I am thinking, oh my gosh, something's wrong. So I call him back immediately, and he'd apparently went to see that Five Nights at Freddy's movie with his dad. I really don't know a whole lot about it, but he apparently went to go see that with his dad, and Matt Pat from Film Theory was in it. And he was so excited because I introduced him to Matt Pat, and we watched Matt Pat videos together. And he was just so excited, and he said, I was so thinking of you in the theater, and I was just so happy. And he was just so upbeat, and I hadn't heard him get that way. And I don't think we've really had a bonding experience quite like that in a while, so it felt really good. Oh, thank you so much. Victor donated another 20. I just lost my pen. Victor donated another 20. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Ryan. So we're getting closer. So we're at 45. So 205 left to go. We are getting closer. Nick says, I rolled my truck back in 2022 and suffered a TBI as well as a compression fracture on my back. I'm still in disability and really don't know what I'm going to do for a job. See, I really struggle to have an 8 to 5 job. It's not like I can't. I'm going to school, full time, and I'm able to commit to that. But it's very, 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 very hard for me to have an 8 to 5 job. So I had to be, or 8 to 4 job, 9 to 5, whatever. So I had to be a bit creative in building my dog sitting business and whatnot, which took a bit. But looking at different avenues, looking at different potentials and possibilities outside the box can be very helpful, because we think, when we think job, we think, a 9 to 5 or a career. But when you're transitioning out of that, especially, it's okay to think about other options and other avenues that aren't blue sky. Oh, Spunky says, what's going on? I feel like I missed a message there. I think something, I'm not getting all the messages, something. Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something. I'm sorry if I missed anything. Eugene says 5 Nights was a good premise, but just turned out to be another boring ghost story. I need to watch a video. I promised Bryson I would watch some video about the origin, lore, backstory, whatever, of that, because he really, really wants me to see it. And I think it's just that he knows I'm kind of into horror and stuff, so he thinks that we can bond over it, but... Yes, don't feel bad, Spencer. It's okay if you can't donate. Guys, don't ever feel bad if you can't pledge or donate. I'm definitely not trying to guilt you into it. I'll just, starve and won't eat tonight and might lose the house. And I'll be begging on the street. And Wendy will just starve to death. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. It's not even for me, but I just wanted to be a goof. David says, kind of into horror. She says, I don't like every genre of horror movie. I definitely have my niches. I definitely have my specific horror movies that I like. There's a lot that I just really don't resonate with at all. Or there's some that I just absolutely can't handle. until the word process keep going. In a ear bust. Victor says I actually started singing again to help with breathing. That's a good idea. I've never been a singer. I'm not talented in that way. I sound like a hyena with my back leg caught in a car door. I can't think of really anything else in my world that's been going on that I haven't shared or that I can share. Try to think if I had any other good wins. This screen looks wider than normal and it's kind of tripping me out right now. At least they had the 80s arcade era carpet down the and Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my gosh. I can totally see exactly what you're talking about. It's the exact same carpet every friggin' bowling alley still has because none of them have updated since 1983. David says, how is Aaron Butler's wrist? He's doing physical therapy, but is still having a bit of a challenge adjusting. So I think it's taking a bit of a mental toll, like stuff like that where you just want this chapter to be over. At first, when you injure yourself, the first part is scary. And then the second part, you start going, okay, it's fine. The pain's gone. It won't be that bad. It won't be that long. Then you get to that part where, okay, kind of over this. And then after a few months, you're going, oh, for Pete's sake, this is insane. And I think he's at that, oh, for Pete's sake, I don't want to do this anymore. But he's trying to do physical therapy, trying to get full motion back in it again. He just doesn't have full mobility in it, and that's really frustrating. Oh, Eugene said he should be getting his electric wheelchair in a couple months. That's good. Mark says everything else I put here will make you laugh. Laughter is so important for us. Yeah, I went and watched a Ryan George video a little bit ago. I've been trying to stay off screens except for filming and homework and stuff, writing, and I'll check my email maybe once, twice a day, but I've been really trying to stay off screens, but I just had to go watch a Ryan George video. It was about Ouija boards. It was funny. It was very relatable. All of his stuff, it's funny, but then I go, this shouldn't be funny because it shouldn't be this relatable, but it is, and that's depressing. Not depressing in an actual depressing way, but just it's very sad that some of these things are relatable. Spencer says I haven't checked email in forever. I throw social media and stuff into that, so I only check pretty much everything once or twice a day at most. Aw, Spugby says my cat is lying on my back. She got flea drops today. She's an unhappy kitty. We'll give her head scratches. Give her head scratches and make her happy. Cager Man says, I'm gone, bed, 5 a.m. Be here soon. Good night, Amanda. Good night. Good night. Good night. And David says, how's the weather down your way? Getting outside more. It's pouring here. I have been getting outside more. I have actually been booking a lot of dogs right now. So there's a lot of letting dogs out and walking them and stuff like that. Like I said, we rode bikes over to the cows, over to the little farm. I've been sitting in the morning I have a little egg chair out on my patio. I've been sitting out there reading. Right now I'm reading a book called The Man Who Quit Money. And it's really good. I think about starting book reviews on here too, because I read a lot of books that are very helpful in my journey. Maybe doing book reviews could be something positive as well. Then I can just summarize all of the mental health good points of a book for you guys so you guys don't all have to read the book. But also go read a book. It doesn't rain here this time of year. We get rain kind of in July, August, and then it's very rare for us to get much rain outside of it. So it's not raining here, but it's in the 70s, 80s currently. So weather's been pretty nice, and I love getting out and enjoying that. Warrior Poet says, I get the experience of getting dental impressions on the 13th. to prepare for my new dentures being made. I dread it, but it's necessary. I feel like it's one of those things. I had LASIK done quite a few years ago, and I dreaded it so bad. It freaked me out so bad. But it was one of the best things that ever happened. So sometimes we just have to do it scared. David says, I read a horror novel and there was a pet cat. Is it bad that I worried about the cat but not the humans? You know what I like about humans? They're dogs. So I definitely relate to you on that. I'm just kidding. I love you all. But I'm not kidding. I really struggle, not with humans as individuals. I love humans as individuals. I love helping people as individuals. But I struggle with humans as a collective. I struggle with the problems that are going on in our world because of humans. I struggle with humans being selfish and humans having a tendency to just steep in bliss only because they want to dwell in ignorance. They don't want to learn or grow or improve themselves or society. It's just kind of frustrating sometimes. But people as individuals, I think, don't fall victim so much to those things. Michael Ross says, hello from the UK, nearly midnight here, just on my way home from a concert. Love your content, all the love. Thank you, all the love back. I hope you enjoyed the concert. I think I need to get to a concert. If only one of my favorite bands of all time would decide to freaking announce their tour already, I would be such a happy panda. I would be so, so happy. Freaking out. I'm freaking out. Where are your poses? I lost my teeth in 2013 because my foot kept flying into my mouth. The second part is a joke. It was actually an infection. Well, I'm laughing at the joke, but that has to be really terrifying. I feel like there isn't that a common nightmare for people, having their teeth fall out? Literally, that's a dream that's supposed to symbolize something specific. And right now, off the top of my head, I'm too tired to remember. But I hope they get that worked out for you, because I know I would feel incredibly frustrated and self-conscious about that. Victor says, I gave my blind friend a cheese grater for a present. He said it was the most violent book he's ever read. Oh, you guys are goofballs. Seriously. David says, I'm still mad Ginger was in Phoenix and you didn't tell me. Why would I know that? Why would I know that? That would be like me saying, David, I'm disappointed that you don't know Justin Timberlake's birthday and favorite color and town of birth. Rose Baby Blue, Memphis, Tennessee, January 31st, 1981. Just in case you were wondering. Y'all can sleep peacefully at night knowing that now. Where it says, the worst part, I was helping my dad with a grocery run last week and I'm going aisle to aisle seeing all this stuff like, I used to be able to eat this, can't use it now. That was tough. The visual reminders are kind of what kicks me the hardest when it comes to anxiety triggers or situations. It's always the visual triggers that get to me. David, you would get mad at me about any NSYNC info. Wait, you have. Well, at least you learned your lesson and you're typing it out appropriately now, so I'll forgive you. Oh, Jonathan Leckman says, John, alcoholic addict. Well, welcome, John. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the chat. Eugene says, I'll stick with the Doors. Thank you. Here's the thing. I do all these reactions to music I've never heard of, or music that I think I might not like, or music that I might just not resonate sometimes with. Y'all can listen to an NSYNC song from me. So, Spencer says NSYNC still exists. Damn, bro. Didn't know that. Ha ha ha. They'd actually broken up back in 2001. I think they announced it in 2002, but they just did a song for the new Trolls movie, and everybody is really, really wanting them to go on tour and make a new album. David says, I listened to more than one song thanks to someone. Without someone must be pretty amazing and cultured. Warrior Post says, honestly, that's fair. Thank you. You put up with periphery for me. Y'all, at least, okay, so I think I'm going to share this over on a Patreon stream with everybody, since we're always doing live reactions over there. So I do live reactions, and I do our reactions specifically just for Patreon, and all the proceeds from that also go to my mental health outreach. But I think maybe I'll share some of my songs that I really like on there. My favorite song of all time is For the Girl Who Has Everything by NSYNC. And it wasn't a very popular song, but if you want to know a little bit more about Amanda, you can go check that out. But if you want to hear more of a breakdown from my perspective and how it relates to me, I'll probably do that here on one of the next Patreon calls. Steve said, I thought they died. Bite your tongue. You don't even know how hard my mental health will tank when anything happens to any of the 5 members of NSYNC. Y'all are going to need to come here and keep me safe and love on me and take care of me. So, PSA, if anything happens to any of the members of NSYNC, y'all might as well just plan a big trip to come love on the Amanda. Spencer said, Blink is back for life, though. Tom and Mark, yes. I just did the reaction to one of their new songs, and I loved it, loved it, loved it. Oh, so we are coming to the end of the stream. Thank you, guys. We got, let's see, 45. So we got 45 of the 250 goal. So at least we still have something to work with that I can do some kind of outreach this week. So thank you for that. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for that. I got caught up reading squirrel. I got caught up reading in the comments there for a second. Thank you guys so much for that and for coming here as always. I love you all so much, and I appreciate all of you supporting this community and supporting each other and building each other up, making sure that none of us feel alone and that we know that there's always a safe place to turn. That's what the channel and the community is for, is just always having that safe place to go. Thank you also for holding space for me today and allowing me to just get a little bit off my chest. I appreciate it. David says, I'll break down when Harrison Ford goes. I think you and Aaron are going to have like some sort of co-ed, or not co-ed, some sort of like co-funeral grief. I cannot talk today. Tribute of some sort for Harrison Ford, because I think it'll really affect Aaron too. I didn't break down with Betty White, but that was definitely sad. A lot of the celebrities, other than Chester, obviously, let's see. There were several wrestlers that when they went, it broke my heart. Randy Savage and Roddy Piper specifically broke my heart. And I heard Sting's retiring. So that was a bit heavy, just to know that that part of my life, that era is really coming to a close, is really sad. So I definitely cried over that. And let's see, I'm trying to think. Steve Irwin got me. That one definitely made me cry. I'm trying to think if there's any other celebrities. No. But I'm going to have to make a video because one of the main characters on my soap opera is about to die. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I will grieve characters on TV shows. And especially this, I've been watching this show for 10 years. So I've been watching this pretty much every day for 10 years. He's one of the original cast members that's been there the whole entire time. And I'm just heartbroken because it's familiarity. You know, it's this character that you've invested emotion into for a decade of your life that's suddenly, holy crap, this character is going to die. So this character is not going to be part of my life anymore. And I've been crying over that while watching it. I will probably have to, maybe I can video the reaction of that episode, because the other day Aaron watched it with me and I'm just snuffling at the end of it. Yeah, Angela Lansbury was heartbreaking as well. Warrior Poet says, we all sing the chorus in unison, every word. Then we stare awkwardly at each other for a few seconds. And we never spoke of this again, wondering, how did we know the lyrics to this? Oh, I got a funny story. So me and 4 other guys back in the early 2000s, all of us in a band at the time, where you were radio surfing, right? So Britney Spears' Lucky came on and they sang all the words. That's funny. That song was really sad though, because I think it was kind of foreshadowing to Britney's breakdown. And I've been contemplating so many videos. I really want to address her story, her book that she just released, and the mentions of Timberlake in there, and how that is affecting her. I've really thought about making a video about that. I'm not sure what people will resonate with. So I obviously do the reactions and I try and do some vlogs, but I think there's some other stuff. Like, I think Britney is a pretty big story pertaining to mental health, and especially with what's coming out, I think it could be something interesting to talk about. So let me know. But I need to get off here because I have to go walk a couple of pups, and they have a beautiful trail. So I'm excited to go look at the trail again. They have a really nice area. They're in a really nice little apartment that's very scenic. So I'm happy to go do that. Again, thank you guys for the pledges. Thank you guys for the love and support. And I will see you guys soon. Mwah!